This is entering the third unit or third week and a half of Electrical Engineering 3306. And what I have pulled up here is a copy of the view of the Blackboard site that you see. And I want to just discuss a few things about the course between now and the end of the course, and look at where we are and where we're going between now and the end of the course. So, as you know, this is divided into 3 units. You recently had an exam on the majority of the material in Unit 2. Where we stopped with that exam is we stopped with the whole transfer function, really video 7.1, maybe a little bit of 6.6, where we discussed the concept of transfer functions. So even though this was not included on the previous exam, it's still material that you will be tested on exam 3. So if you did not watch these videos from transfer functions forward, discussing passive filters, then you do need to be sure that you watch these videos. So starting with 7.1, maybe even going back and picking up with 6.6. You should have by now already done that. There is an addition homework assignment, some practice homework on transfer functions and passive filters. Sorry about that, didn't mean to do that. That should be relatively straightforward homework. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. It's the only homework assignment that I don't have a solution set posted for, and I don't intend to, because it is kind of a plug in the blank kind of homework assignment. But if you have questions on any of that, please feel free to send me an email and ask. Also, let's go back to the home page and we'll open up Unit 3, which is a shorter unit, but it's deceptively short because it's conceptually a more difficult unit. For those of you who have had a linear systems class before, you have probably done something on Bode plots. If not, this will be an introduction to you, and you might want to pay closer attention to some of the introductory Bode plot videos. Some textbooks and websites don't do a very good example of illustrating how to do Bode plots, and I'm not saying that mine is any better, but I would just recommend that in addition, if the videos posted here are not enough for you and you need to do further exploration into Bode plots, just be aware that different people have different methodologies, and so it's good to look at other videos and other sources. But if you start to find it too confusing, then maybe go back and watch the course videos over again. And if you need guidance on that, please feel free to ask. Bode plots, like anything else, are not terribly difficult as long as you put in the time to really learn how to do it. So there are some videos and also some notes. Basically, this last part of the class is focused on filters and filter design. So I do want to make one comment here. In doing the exams and the project, so there is a project listed, I'll show you that in a moment. In doing the exams and the project, what a lot of people will do is especially on the project, they'll go online, they'll search third order low pass filter, and they'll get some schematics that come up that are indeed third order low pass filters. But what I want you to do is I want you to use specifically the designs we discuss in the class, and that's pretty clearly outlined on the project. So please do not go Googling and find a bunch of filters online and use those, because that's not what we're using, and that's not the goal of the project. The goal of the project is to use the materials from your textbook that we cover in class and in the notes on that project. I did had to count off quite a bit of credit on some people last spring who, like I said, they went to Chegg or they went to Wikipedia or they went to one of the EE sites, downloaded a filter design, and submitted that as part of their project. So just please be careful with that. That's not an acceptable thing to do on the project. I will have next week, probably on Tuesday, an in-depth discussion on the project. where I will answer any questions. I want to give you time to watch the videos and do some of the practice problems on the preliminary stuff so that you have a better understanding of where you're going when you get ready to do the project. The project posted this morning. You can start that at any time, but you do need to work your way pretty much through Butterworth filters in order to be able to do all of the project. You can do a part of the project. Where is that lecture? Should be, I think it's this discussion on advanced filters. It's basically an active low pass filter with 3 stages or 4, I don't remember what I asked for, cascaded together. So there's some discussion of that in some of these lectures. So you could go ahead and get started on the project there. The project also does ask you to provide the Bode plot. It asks you to do that in MATLAB. That should be covered here. If you can't find what you need on Bode plots in MATLAB, then when we have our discussion on Monday or Tuesday, just ask me to point you to that, and I can do a quick demo of that online on how to use MATLAB to do a Bode plot. So that's where we are. We'll have one more exam. My plan is to make it similar to the exam you just took, where there will be an online part that is closed book, multiple choice, relatively not time consuming, and then an open book section where you'll actually work some problems. And just a heads up that I may on that open book section request some Bode plots, so you should between now and then try to get a hold of some Simulog paper, because that'll be easier to draw your plots on. Sometimes I provide that as well. Okay, so that pretty much concludes what I wanted to talk about, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will see you on Tuesday.